Good afternoon. It is May 27th. This is video number 3, 4, whatever it is. I don't care. I just want to make sure that everybody's getting educated and learning the best that they possibly can. So today we're going to talk about holsters and types of carry. Obviously there are different holsters for different purposes and different types of carry for different applications. So the first two I'm going to talk about are kind of special because they're very unique. Number one is just going to be general gun carry. So right here I have my wife's North American Arms 22 Sidewinder. And I also apologize because I just kind of flagged my hand with this. But this gun is not loaded. It's a very difficult gun to not flag with, I'll just be honest, because it's so small. But this gun, technical difficulties. This gun can be held in the pocket fairly easily. It actually has this nice little clip on it, so you can actually clip it onto the pocket. Once this works, there we go. But easily clips on the pocket, and then when drawn, basically boom, there you go. This is also a gun that you could technically walk around with it with the hammer down. The trigger is completely covered on this, so when drawn, I would not recommend that though, because when you try, you can easily pull that. It's a little 22 single shot, 22 mag single shot. This gun is the ultimate in micro carry, but it's, you know, there's not really a holster made for this. The other 22 models like this, I've seen the like little leather holsters that fit in a pocket or a purse. But in the case of this one, this is kind of its own thing, and it's its own kind of carry. So, and I mean, this easily fits in the pocket as well for pretty well minimal use or minimal coverage. What I do recommend though, and I'll talk about it more when talking about pocket carry, is the pocket that you carry your gun in, don't have anything else in it. Don't have any, especially in something like this, don't have any like change or anything like that. Like a dime could easily get in here and jam up these cylinders, and you know, the time that you need that gun is not the best time to have a jam or something like that. So other than that though, this gun is incredibly reliable. Little 22 revolver, gotta love them. So that's specific gun carry. Next, we will talk about something for the ladies. So number one, chamber flag, the gun is unloaded, and here are the mags for it. This is purse carry. So this is an actual concealed carry purse for my wife that I got her. And this has two lovely pockets on it. And basically you just unzip, reach in there, and right there's your weapon. This is ambidextrous. The back of this is locked at all times, or at least I try to have it that way so you don't grab for the wrong one. And depending on which hand you carry is probably which side of this you should have unlocked. There's also a holster on the inside here that is not very easy to show on camera, but it's a lovely little leopard print as well, and it's super duper handy to carry. Well, this is a Glock 42, so there's 6+1, and then you can actually carry an additional magazine just right here in this little pouch. So, and this will take bigger guns like the 38 or this might even fit my M&P, but I don't want my wife to know that because that's my favorite carry gun. But and like holster price wise, this purse was like $60. So, and it's a fully functional purse. I mean, there are pockets in here to keep things separate and everything else. So, great option for carrying for women or men. We're not judgmental here, and I don't want to get demonetized YouTube. So just basic carry stuff that just makes it really easy to you know, carry that gun from place to place. All right, so that were the first two, the gun specific and purse carry. Next, we're going to talk about the thing that I hate dealing with the most, open carry. So I frankly there is not a practical application to open carry in public. For the people who open carry in public and you're offended by this, I'm not sorry. Now, if you're in a state where you have to open carry, I understand. But for those of you who walk through the stores and act like, you know, you're king shit and you don't care because you're gonna open carry, you just stay home, all right? There are a few times when I actually do open carry, and that is when I'm on my farm by myself, not dealing with anyone else. And by the definition of open carry, what I mean is the person who walks around in the store with their gun just dangling off their hip. And I'm gonna just say, if you're going to do this, the only thing I can recommend to you is have a multi-point retention harness, or a holster, sorry, not harness. This holster here is actually a 2-point retention holster. There's a button here on the side that you have to push in to pull up. Otherwise, if somebody tries to grab your gun, they can't, or it's very difficult. And their trigger guard is protected. So, also, and by the way, what I'm talking about here is this. You also can be open carrying and covering yourself. It's not hard to put on a shirt that's not unbuttoned or been in the closet, whatever. Let's hope that it fits. Good job, James. Get up here and waddle yourself in there. All right, so, you know, wearing, there we go. Professional for all of you. So, anyway, same thing, guns in the hip, but guess what? You can't see that. Button up the shirt on top of it, and guess what? The gun is covered, okay? If you want to buy better clothes or something like that, knock yourselves out. But yes, cover your gun. Please don't be the person walking around. And especially to you people, I'm sorry, I'm speaking to specific people right now. You people who go into stores with a 45 long Colt single shot on your hip, who are you trying to impress, okay? You're as bad as the assholes who are wearing cowboy hats in public that aren't in the Midwest, or aren't in the western part of the country. Seriously. Unless you're in Texas or Wyoming, you don't need to be wearing a cowboy hat in Indiana, Bob, okay? That just took a dark turn. Anyways, so, yeah, definitely, you know, open carry. For concealability, obviously it's a 0. Do not open carry if it's avoidable, please. The whole reason why you have a concealed carry permit is to carry a weapon concealed. So why are you broadcasting it to everybody saying, hey, guess what? I got me a pew pew. Don't do that, all right? So, open carry. Also, in the same breath as the open carry items here, I can get this off. There we go. When buying, and this is just a general, but when buying a holster, make sure that your gun can fit in the holster. So this is an outside the waistband holster. And when I say open carry and concealed carry, or when I say that, a lot of these are OWB belt holsters, so outside the waistband, inside the waistband. This is still a concealable holster. This is not something that sits out there far enough that, you know, it's gonna make it, it's a little more difficult to conceal, but it's not something that's just gonna sit out there. So like with this holster, this is for the compact only. For my 40 cal here, that is loaded, by the way, this is my home defense weapon. This is a little bit too big for this, yeah. So the actual trigger guard does not fit inside there. So this is not actually made for this gun. So ensure that you have the right size holster for the right size gun. And this is kind of a gripe when buying stuff for like SIG, because in the P320 line, there is the carry, the compact, the subcompact, and the full size. So when you're buying these, make sure you have the right size barrel for the right, or the right size holster for the right size application. I mean, even this and the hip holster hangs out by about that far. So those are the kind of things you have to worry about when doing that. So we'll go ahead and chamber flag this one until the next video where I get to talk about everything. So next we'll talk about hip carry, or I'm sorry, inside the waistband carry. In this case, I have my Smith & Wesson M&P 40C 2.0. This one, this is a specific holster from CYA. Great holster company. I am not sponsored by anyone, but for, I think this was like a $30 holster made out of some really high quality Kydex. Goes right here, goes inside the waistband. This is easy to carry with, especially in jeans and a t-shirt, but just simple carry. Nobody can tell there's anything there. Absolutely love this type of carry, especially for a guy like me. There's also different positions. I like to carry off of my right hip. I guess that's like the 3 o'clock position. There's also appendix carry where you carry around in this area, but I'm too fat for that. You know, there's 6 o'clock, whatever position you want to carry it in. This is my preferred way of carrying, pretty much with any gun, with any of my SIGs or something in, you know, the mid compact size to full size. This is actually my preferred form of carry. So that's inside the waistband. And this kind of goes without saying, for pretty much all the guns that I own, I recommend having a holster specific to the gun. And I'll show you in this next application why. So when purchasing a gun, or when purchasing a gun specific holster, that holster is, you know, molded to a form of the gun, whether it's, you know, a blue gun or the actual gun itself. That's actually molded to basically fill in those spaces. When you have a generalized inside the waistband holster or any kind of generalized holster, you don't necessarily get that best fit that you should. So we're going to put this off to the side. I'm going to show what I mean here. So here I have just a general inside the waistband holster. I've had this thing forever, and the application of it works for the job, but like that Kydex holster fits so perfectly. Here, this is actually also an outside the waistband holster too, if you want to use the belt loops. But putting in my SIG or my Smith & Wesson, it's a little bit too small. And then the Glock here, it's actually kind of a Goldilocks here. It's just about right, but it doesn't quite fit it. So for my Glock here, it just about fits it, but it doesn't put it in the right position when trying to draw. So this actually has more of a forward position versus trying to actually draw it out. So when doing inside the waistband, I highly recommend getting something specific to your gun. And that's actually going to ring true for the next category too here. I'm going to briefly talk about some other generalized stuff. So I have some gun specific ones and some generalized. So this right here is specific to K-framed revolvers, which is my M206 here. This fits perfectly. Snaps shut. Great holster for that application. Now, I don't really have any other guns that this fits, but for a K-frame revolver, the snub nose, the classic, that works really well. Now, this one is a gun specific one, and we'll talk about it in the next video when we talk about the greatness of a 25 cal. I got that out with a straight face. Next, this is one I don't even know how I got this holster, but this fits, this kind of fits my Glock. But same thing, gun really doesn't have, it's got an okay grip, but also I bought this to be a compact, or this is a subcompact. I bought this to carry this somewhere other than on my hip. If I'm gonna carry something on my hip, and this is even outside the waistband, I obviously want something that I can carry, and not have to carry, you know, if I'm gonna carry something on my hip, I might as well carry a full-size gun that's 15 rounds or, you know, 17, 20 rounds, whatever, versus, you know, 6+1 of 380. So, and then the last category we'll talk about today. Oh, one other thing. This is a certain brand of holster. This is Sticky Holsters. I only have this for one gun, and the only reason I have it is I was able to get it on discount. It's actually for this revolver, and they have a system to use these with where you have belts and ankle holsters and everything else. The only thing that I have ever seen with this that's an issue is, and I know of a friend who carries these regularly. This is, you know, meant to basically be an inside the waistband holster that really doesn't have a hook on the other side of it. So when drawing, that's honestly the first time that's worked for me in the right way. Normally the entire holster comes with the gun, so I must have done something different. But these are kind of good for their system, but it's also one of those that it's all about feeling and how you feel about carrying it. I just don't ever feel safe carrying with this holster. So, but that's to each his own. That's just my personal preference. But last, I'll talk about pocket carry here. So first off, my Ruger LCP. This is the ultimate in compatibility and portability, clear chamber. Okay, this gun I have carried for about 7 or 8 years off and on. We're really coming into the season when it gets really hot out. So multiple ways to carry this gun. Really I carry it in about, really just 2 ways. Well, really only one, I use 2 holsters, but this gun, this is a general pocket holster that actually works. I believe it's Allen brand or Blackhawk. This actually, for the longest time, I had a laser on this, so it was really easy to actually use this. But just simple pocket carry, pop it in there, have the gun. If I need to draw, you know, you basically, your deal is you got to catch it on the pocket. And then this one is a specific one made by Bianchi, and this one actually is a pretty, you know, well-designed piece. So this fits the gun perfectly, and this is a right-handed one, I believe, or is it left-handed? I don't even know. But when drawing the gun, that little hook there is meant to catch. Actually, no, this is right-handed because you're meant to put your thumb on there too. But when pulling this, it's really nice. So when you go to pull, you just basically hook, and right there you go, and you have your gun out. Yeah, really nice holsters. I think all of these were about $20. This one definitely was less than 20 because it was like 10 bucks. I got this at a store closing out, so next to nothing in cost. I think this was normally about 20 or 30 bucks. And that's really a good number for a high quality, low cost holster. I know there's certain ones like Alien Gear and things like that that are, you know, $100 plus. And if that's what you feel like you want to carry, hey, go ahead. When talking about these, I mean, these are $15, $20. And then like when we get into, like I talked about the CYA one, where's that one from my Ruger? Whew, totally wrong thing. This P321 I think was like $20 for an outside the waistband holster. The one here, I have no idea the cost of this. It came with my gun, so it was kind of an incurred thing, or you know, an added on cost, or I guess a freebie onto the cost. But I couldn't tell you what the cost is on it. It's, you know, it's a really nice, I don't want to say flimsy Kydex, but a pliable Kydex holster. But all in all, love these holsters for these guns. The inside the waistband one, that was probably like $15, and I almost am certain I bought that on eBay, and that was one that it really, I got it for the 25, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I still can't say it with a straight face, but that was a decently priced one, but like I said, I don't really, it doesn't fit for the proper application. The stuff for the Glock one, I have no idea what I paid for it, that little one. And then the K-frame one, I think that was another $10 to $15 one for like the Blackhawk stuff. So depending on what you want to pay on a holster, I mean, you can get them for as little as, you know, $10, and you can spend as much as, you know, hundreds of dollars. I prefer that $20 to $30 range, but I have ventured up and looked into the $50 ones like the Versa Carry and stuff like that. It's all just personal preference. I personally prefer to carry inside the waistband, so most of those are fairly cheaper because there's less points of retention. Also, in talking about that, 2 points of retention versus one, or no points of retention really. Like this one here is 2 where you have the snap, but if you have the one that's just completely open, there's no retention there. So it's all about that, and it's all about how safe you're going to be when carrying. It's all up to you. It's your responsibility in the end, at the end of the day. So kind of think about that before you go out and know, hey, here's what I got to carry. Here's what I've got to do to keep myself safe and the people around me. And you know, you being shot or something happening to somebody is definitely not what you want to happen when open carrying, or I'm sorry, when carrying in general. So at the end of the day, you're the person who's responsible for everyone else and yourself. So hey, congratulations, you're the one who bought a gun. Anyways, let's not get too dark here. So I'm James with Gibbs Guns. Next time I'm going to go through all of my pistols, and I'm going to talk about best forms of carry, caliber. We'll go over calibers a little bit, but the video after that will be ballistics. And I'll be discussing basically the best carry gun for you and different applications for carrying that gun. Like, how do you carry? Should you pocket carry? Should I pocket carry my M&P compact? Should I hip carry my LCP? Little things like that that you can talk about, and just when deciding to buy that first gun, what kind of things you want to know. So anyways, I'm James again. I'm James again for Gibbs Guns. Thank you for taking your time to watch this. Please like and subscribe, share all you can. My Patreon link's down below. If you enjoy content like this, I'm just a few hours, well, I'm really like a day or two away from going out to the range, shooting up a lot of stuff and talking about safe target practice and safe range practice. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.